Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul
and
Hankins.
you're on the air with Power Squared. Tonight we're going to talk about something that's, I don't know if it's near and dear to our hearts, but maybe something that is sort of in the news and is something that we're, familiar with, the company, GameStop.
Yes. Now, this is a comic book themed podcast, we can justify talking about this. The existence of Spider-Man 2 on the PS2.
Right,
Side note: this is actually one of my favorite games.
right. If you're not familiar, GameStop is announced they're closing 400 stores nationwide, 40 of them in Los Angeles, California,
Yeah.
and several in Los Angeles. And we just thought and I think the store that we used to go to all the time is one of those that's closed.
Yeah.
As I think it closed as of yesterday or today.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about you've been a gamer since how old?
I don't remember the exact age. I just know with computer games, kind of as soon as I could play them, I got more and more into it.
Right.
And I didn't have a console for the longest time, so I was a PC gamer, and then I became a console gamer, and now I'm kind of a console and PC gamer.
Right.
I mostly play on console, which is where GameStop came in.
Right.
But there are some games that I think there are some genres that do work better on PC.
Right. Yeah.
Or there are some games that I like that are only on PC.
Your first console was a PS2,
Yes.
which I believe was a surprise when you got it.
Yeah.
And so I guess you'd have to go to someplace like GameStop to get, because the games it came with were kind of, I was like, crap. There were like a lot of demos and stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't what we thought we were getting. And so you'd have to go to a store like GameStop.
Yeah.
And
It was GameStop or Best Buy.
right. And on a side note, Best Buy stopped being as much fun to go to as it used to be.
Yeah.
Because they used to have music and movies and video games, and now they don't have any of that stuff really.
Well, they still have video games, but it's a much smaller selection.
Yeah, it's just.
I remember when I was a kid, Best Buy had like this giant gaming section.
Oh yeah, I remember like on Black Fridays that would be a place to go because they had so much stuff.
It was like heaven for physical media.
Yeah, not anymore. But so someplace like GameStop was. Have you been to GameStop? I know that around Christmas you went into a GameStop store.
Yeah. I don't go into GameStop nearly as often as I used to. Part of that is, although they've gotten back into retro stuff, or what would be considered retro now, it's mostly a toy store.
Yeah, a lot of
Like, they mostly sell like Funko Pops or action figures, or in cases some board games or TCGs. It's just kind of all over the place. They even do like, you can submit cards through them for PSA grading, and
wow, they're trying to diversify what they offer.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like Barnes and Noble diversify. I mean, they've got Legos and things like that.
yeah.
But I understand they're trying.
But like Barnes and Noble is still recognizably Barnes and Noble.
Yes, they do sell books.
Yeah.
Sell stores. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, it even going into a GameStop it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
They don't have near the units or what do you want to call them that they used to have.
No. I figured out my journey with like buying video games.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Best Buy, and then I went to GameStop. Then I went back to Best Buy, and kind of just stayed.
Okay.
I still have occasionally gone to GameStop for one reason or another, but it's mostly been Best Buy now.
Okay.
At one point it was Best Buy Amazon. Now it's still mostly Best Buy.
Okay.
And even then it's large. There are some like handful of day one games for me, but it's mostly been like waiting for Black Friday sales.
Right.
because modern AAA prices are too high, and in some cases it's actually more worth it at a lower.
So what is the average game cost?
Well, when I was a kid, full price was when I was a kid and in high school, full price was 50 or 60. Now AAA companies try to push it to 70.
Uh-huh.
And in some cases, Nintendo has been trying. Lately, Nintendo tried to experiment with 80, but no one was buying it at that. Or, of course, it did sell. Not literally
yeah,
no
but,
one, but
yeah, but not the numbers they were hoping for. You can price yourself out of the business.
yeah, 80 is like way too much of a stretch, and 70 was barely justifiable. And even then, I hesitated to buy a lot of things at 70.
So I mean, GameStop they used to have like lots of used games and
Yeah. So what was really cool about GameStop when I was younger was a really wide selection of games from like all these different consoles, and you could even buy consoles through them. I don't know how often I did it through them, but
you bought one, I know for sure.
yeah.
Xbox or something.
Then excuse me. There's a lot of new and used games, and it was just this really cool place. I also had really good pre-order bonuses,
Mm-hmm.
so I often went through them for that, at least. And then over time, it just kind of changed. One thing that I eventually got soured on was like really bad. Like when you sell a game to them, the trade-in value is like. I eventually realized how bad the trade-in value was. I have the excuse I was naive when I was younger.
Yeah.
There's a local like mom and pop store that's way better, so I actually use them a lot more now with buying and selling games, especially older titles, and they often have prices that are better than even eBay.
Right.
So GameStop is. I used to even like go to them for like sales, and now I just don't anymore. It's become kind of a. I was also aware as I got older, like what employees were actually going through behind the scenes, and it's not like the best working environment.
Okay.
But it's still in some ways feels like a shadow of its former self.
Yeah, it used to have. I mean, as of February of last year, there were 2,325 stores.
Yeah.
And that's down from what they used to be. Do you think they maybe stretched themselves too thin?
Yeah, I would say so. On some level, they're probably just desperate to sell anything. Like at one point, they even got into the crypto space.
Yeah, they have a bunch of money tied up in crypto. Apparently.
Yeah, I think at some point they at least pulled out of NFTs or whatever, but it was still not a good look.
So we heard about NFT, like some museum of NFTs. Or so one of the things they blame is the more gamers are downloading games as opposed to buying the discs.
Yeah. Now, it is true that digital sales are much higher. It got higher over time, partly because of the convenience,
Right.
partly because for some that was the only way, and which, in that case, if you just say like this game sold really well digitally and that's the only way, that's not fair.
Right.
But there's still a big demand for physical media, like. For example, I didn't buy Alan Wake 2 when it came out because there wasn't a physical, and then when there was a physical, I actually got it. I haven't played it yet because of things.
Yeah.
But,
so is there an advantage to having a physical versus download?
well, with the physical, they'd have to pull it from my cold dead hands. You actually own the game when you get it physically as opposed to digital. It's more of a license. Nowadays there are disc-based games where the game isn't even on the disc, so what's the point? It's certainly a minority still of games that are like that, but I don't like that companies even try to pull that anyway. That's why I didn't buy Doom the Dark Ages, because you have the disc, but it's not actually on the disc.
That sucks.
And as someone who likes owning things, I prefer to have the game on the disc.
All right.
It's like when the PlayStation Store was in danger of shutting down, and I panic bought some stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I made sure that whatever I was buying was actually on the disc.
Right.
I didn't require some download, or wasn't a code, or wasn't like the PS5 version of a Mortal Kombat game where, oh, you need to authenticate it with this one-time code.
All
So
right.
then I went back and bought the PS4 version
With
because
a
it didn't need that.
with a download, do you have to be on the internet to play it?
No.
Okay.
Well, it depends.
Okay.
There's some games that do require an internet connection even for single player, which is scummy to me.
Yeah. 'Cause then-
But because then when the server shuts down, you can't play a game. But there are games where it just requires a one-time connection, and then you can play it offline. But even then, that's still bad because you still give the game a shelf life.
right.
Yeah.
Do you think that COVID had anything to do with people going to more to downloads?
Yes. I am aware that COVID did also lead to higher sales of retro titles, which is why I'm still waiting for that retro bubble to burst.
Okay.
But there are people again who bought retro games because I have this I have this check and I can use it on
Yeah.
the stuff that I liked. That stuff's really calming down in price now, which is good. But I have no doubt that there was a spike in digital sales because some people didn't want to go out and buy a physical copy.
Yeah. I kind of.
Or even just buy a physical copy when I can just download it right now.
Right. Yeah. And I would imagine during COVID that was a, hey, I don't want to get out and get COVID. I want to stay home and play video games.
Yeah, in general, COVID had a negative impact on physical stores. But that was just a byproduct of the existence of the virus itself.
Now, during 2021, there was a push on the stock for GameStop,
Yeah,
as it was for AMC.
yeah. It was, I think it was the Wall Street Bets subreddit.
Yeah.
Noticed that people were trying to short GameStop stock, so they decided to pump it up just to screw those people.
Stick it to the rich people.
Basically, it worked, but of course some people held on too long and then lost all their money.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
It's still fascinating that happened at all.
Right.
And then AMC did kind of bounce back because of it.
Yeah, a little bit. And well, we won't talk about attendance in movie theaters is down as well, thanks to COVID. Okay. What do you see as a? I mean, does the fact it's closing down stores make you want to go to one to sort of like save it somehow?
I have mixed feelings on GameStop in general. Again, I found better deals elsewhere. I never completely wrote them off because there were times where they had, when I was looking for something, no one had it, but they did.
Right.
One time was the Nintendo Switch, when I decided I actually wanted one. It was at the time where it was really hard to find, but GameStop still had some.
Right.
And when I got the Silent Hill 2 remake, I hadn't pre-ordered it, so it was impossible to find anywhere. But a GameStop still had some, so I was able to get it through them.
Okay.
And we did find Crash Twinsanity on the original Xbox recently at a decent price through GameStop.
That was the pre-Christmas thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as them shutting down, Might be tempting to see if I can get anything, but
Yeah.
otherwise, they kind of did it to themselves.
Yeah.
So
Kind of.
it's kind of like I'm not. Part of me is not super bummed that they would be going away, but a part of me is also like, it was still a little sad because I used to like them and just like what they've become.
I always see like all these stores, retail stores that sell like physical media, which is probably the culprit, shut down. Like all the record stores, big record stores are all gone pretty much.
Yeah.
There are some still independent ones, but there's no chains anymore, really.
Right. Like Tower is only in Japan now.
Yeah. And well, when I was growing up in Dallas, there was Sound Warehouse and Peaches, and they're both gone as far as I know. So, you know, I kind of wonder where people go to hang out because you can't like. You used to go to the mall.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of stores, and they'd have all sorts of stuff, and then you would like on a date, like the first date with your mom, we went to a record store to kind of spend some time.
Yeah.
That's gone pretty much, or it's not as easy to do.
Yeah.
You have to make a special effort to go do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I hope bookstores don't follow that suit either.
Yes, I like the bookstore.
I think the difference between maybe because you can download a game and play it basically the same way you play a game.
Yeah.
To download a book, you're reading it off something this big or whatever, or maybe bigger, but still, it's not the same experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you read a book at night because it helps you go to sleep, and then having a bright light in your face is not really going to help you do that.
Right.
So I think it's a slightly different experience, but I worry about things like that because they're it's easier to just download stuff.
Yeah.
Though if somebody wants to download a comic book, I'll go for it. But
I was going to say there are some justifications for buying digital, like the nearest store is way too far away.
yeah,
Like, I remember at Comic Con when I was at a point where I did randomly talk to some people in line. Someone mentioned they downloaded comics because their nearest comic book store was like 2 hours away. So it's like, okay, that makes sense.
bringing this back to Power Squared slightly. Chainsaw.
Chainsaw Man?
No. What was a video game set in San Ramiro?
Oh, Lollipop Chainsaw.
A Lollipop Chainsaw. And we went to a midnight drop in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Was that a GameStop we went to?
Yes.
Okay. So I brought it back to San Ramiro. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of stuff that you used to be able to. I mean, you miss out on those kind of things too. They don't. If there's no stores that have that kind of. Now it's just all digital drops. When someone drops an album, it's digital.
Yeah.
They don't have a physical release necessarily. I mean, I stood in line once to get the first time they sold the first anthology, Beatles anthology. There was a line of people to try to buy it when it was first opened. I think it came out on sale at 10 or 11 or something at night.
I it reminds me one of the few times we've gone to a midnight. Trevor and I have gone to a midnight release was at a GameStop for God of War 3.
Okay. So I mean, there's kind of an event, and with everything being digital, you kind of it's a chance to actually your community is there because they all want to play God of War 3. Without that, you're just sort of in social media, which isn't the same intimacy, I don't think.
Yeah, I know there are still like people who camp out for like midnight releases of things like the new, like the Switch 2 was the last thing for a lot of people, not me, but there's not as much of that anymore.
Right. Yeah. It's sort of hard to get excited about stuff like that. All right. So
as far as GameStop is concerned, their gradual downfall is kind of something they brought on themselves.
Okay. And
like they had better business practice.
Do you think it's the practice of what they stock or how they treat the employees, or
I think it's a combination of things,
okay,
including those.
yeah,
Like their reputation just kept getting lower and lower.
that's too bad. I hate to see something like that kind of go away. I guess totally.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only that one Blockbuster video.
Yeah, I guess another question is with GameStop, what's going to happen to all those like old games that those stores had in stock? Do they get taken or do they go somewhere else? Do they get trashed?
We hope they don't get trashed because there's some value to it, and people would buy it if they knew it was, A lot of times you wonder what happens because, like, when stores close and they still have product, somebody buys the product, I guess, and probably tries to sell it some other way.
Yeah.
So you hope they don't just throw all the stuff away. Wasn't there something you guys bought from a GameStop and the guy had to pretend to throw it away for you to buy it or give it to you or whatever?
It was some Skylanders product. They were pennied out, which means it was going to be trashed. So the employee gave it to us.
Meet around back.
Because he still had our number.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah, so things kind of come and go. So do you see physical media going away in games?
As long as there's a demand for it and companies keep catering to that, like there are some limited print companies, I think physical media won't be going away anytime soon.
Okay.
And many big titles still get released at retail.
Right. Okay.
And retail still accounts for a lot of sales.
But
Again, going back to Alan Wake 2, when it was digital only, and also on PC was Epic Game Store only,
yeah.
not Steam, they weren't making their money back. But then as soon as they opened it up to more avenues like physical, hey, it sold a lot more.
Well, it used to be with kind of DVDs that it was Walmart would tell you what they wanted because they were a big chunk of the market. They were a big chunk of the market for toys. They were really big with DVDs, and I don't know if that translates to Blu-rays or not, but they were like really a major player. And they could say, okay, that's what we're looking for, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
They'd have special things for them. Does Walmart still sell physical TV? Do you know?
I think they do.
Okay, we're not.
I haven't been into a Walmart in a while.
Yeah, a long time. All right. So we're hoping it doesn't go away, but just know that it's condensing
Yeah.
their footprint out there.
Yeah. So that covers it.
Okay.
If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment below if you have any thoughts or memories of GameStop that you would like to share.
Right.
And also, if you are looking for a silent fidget toy, use our code MarioandEli to save 10% off your purchase at getono.com.
All right. So until next time, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.